Hello everyone. In the previous lecture what we discussed? We discussed various types of charge distribution, continuous charge distributions. In that we discussed the point charge. There are 4 types of charge distributions. Point charge we discussed, line charge, then surface charge, and this volume charge we discussed. Okay. This surface charge can be of any shape. Okay, this line charge can be a finite line charge or infinite line charge. Okay, this line charge can be on any axis, x axis, y axis or z axis, positive x, positive y axis, on any axis. It can be along r direction, it can be along phi direction, okay, so on. Surface charge can be of this shape, perpendicular means rectangular shape, it can be a square shape, it can be finite size or it can be of infinite size. This volume charge distribution can be of cubic shape, that means charge is distributed inside the volume. It can be a sphere, sphere is also a volume, inside sphere there is a volume. Okay. So, spherical volume can be there, cubic volume can be there, or it can be any other volume. So, we discussed that if charge is distributed on a point, then it is a point charge. If charge is distributed, total charge is distributed along a line, then it is called as line charge. If it is distributed on a surface, then it is called as surface charge, and on volume, inside a volume, then it is a volume charge. And we also discussed that if in the given problem charge is given as a point charge, then generally they give you the value of q. If in the given problem line charge is mentioned, then they will give you the value of rho L, that is line charge density measured in coulomb per meter. If in the problem surface charge is described, then they will give you the value of rho S, this is rho S. So, rho S is nothing but surface charge density, it is measured in coulomb per meter square, and in case of volume charge they will give you value of rho V, this is rho V. It is called as volume charge density, it is measured in coulomb per meter cube. So, based on these fundamentals we discussed that we can get q is equal to rho L dl, integration rho L dl. We have also discussed q is equal to integration of rho S ds in case of this charge. In case of volume charge we can use q is equal to integration of rho V into dV. Okay. Because in case of line charge what is given? Q is not given, this q is not given, rho L is given. So, from rho L we can obtain total charge, from rho S we can obtain total charge, or in case of volume charge distribution with the help of rho V is generally given. In that case from rho V we can obtain this total charge inside this total volume. Then we discussed how to find out, how to compute or how to frame the formula of electric field intensity for other types of charge distribution. We already had using Coulomb's law we formulated E bar for a line charge, E bar for a point charge is nothing but q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square AR cap. So, this formula we obtained with the help of Coulomb's law. From this formula we can frame 3 formulas for E bar, for line charge, for surface charge, for volume charge, and we discussed that in place of q we replace this q by integration rho L dl in this formula, we replace q by integration rho S ds in this formula, and we replace this q in this formula by integration rho V dV. So, that we will get E bar for line charge, E bar for surface charge, E bar for volume charge distributions. Now, today we are going to discuss what exactly the formula of E bar due to infinite line charge. So, right now I do not have this derivation in my PowerPoint presentation, but I will sooner upload the video on derivation of E bar due to infinite line charge. That means an infinite line is given, straight line is given on which charge is distributed uniformly on it. Okay, charge is distributed uniformly on this particular infinite line charge. The line is infinite on both ends, and suppose this line is kept on, this charged line is kept on z axis, and we assumed one point P here, and we wanted to find out what is the E bar, what is E bar at this point P due to this total line charge. And the formula, after completing this derivation, the formula we obtain is rho L dl, rho L upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r a r cap. So, this r and rho a r, this we have shown it now here, a rho and rho, this we can replace it by r and a r cap. So, if you follow my previous lecture, I have explained sometimes the authors uses rho in place of r and a rho in place of a r or a r cap, because here the cylindrical system might have followed, that is why rho and a rho is obtained here. Okay. So, you can read this formula in this manner also, E bar is equal to rho L divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 r a r cap. In this way also you can read this particular formula. So, what exactly in this formula? Line charge is given with line charge density rho L is given in this derivation, and you are asked to find out what is the E bar at a point P, what is the E bar value at this point P due to this total line charge, and the formula is found to be E bar is equal to rho L divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 r a r cap. I do not have this particular derivation at this moment, but I will soon upload this particular derivation part in the next lectures to come. Next derivation we have on our screen is find out or derive E bar due to infinite surface charge. For this derivation, what is given? This statement is given. What is this statement? The statement is given like this: derive E bar due to infinite surface charge of density rho s. So, we do not know what is the value of rho s, but they have mentioned that one infinite surface charge is given whose surface charge density is rho s, then find out E bar at some point. So, assume we do some assumption, assume that the infinite surface charge is given in xy plane. So, suppose this is x axis, this is y axis and this is z axis, then where is the xy plane? The plane between x axis and y axis is called as xy plane. So, you have to assume that given surface charge is placed in xy plane. Okay, xy plane. So, negative y axis is somewhere here and negative x axis is somewhere like this, this is negative x axis and this is negative y axis. So, the total surface from this x axis y axis to this positive y axis, from this negative x axis to positive y axis, from negative x axis to negative y axis, this total area is nothing but xy plane. So, if you want to imagine this surface with the help of this, suppose this is my x axis, this is y and this is z, x, y, z. So, x and y is this. So, plane surface xy plane is like this, x and y plane, this is xy plane, this is xy plane. So, what is the direction of this xy plane? Direction of this xy plane, how will you obtain? You have to draw the perpendicular to this plane surface. If you draw the perpendicular to this xy plane, you will get this z axis. Okay. So, this z axis is the direction of this xy plane. Okay. Direction of this xy plane is az cap or minus az cap. Okay. So, let me erase this first. So what is the assumption? First assumption is assume that the given surface charge is placed in xy plane with uniform charge density rho s, and we will assume where we want to find out E bar. Due to this surface charge distribution, this is charge is distributed along this particular surface charge. On whole surface charge, the charge is distributed whose charge density is rho s, and we want to find out, for example, E bar at this point whose coordinates are 0 0 h 0 0 h. But here one mistake is there. This second coordinate is not 0, second coordinate is phi. This is a print mistake. So this is the second coordinate here, 0, phi and h. Okay. Now I want to find out the electric field intensity at point P due to this infinite surface charge. So how should I start? Obviously, up till now we only have Coulomb's law to find out the E bar. With the help of Coulomb's law, we found out that if we divide this force obtained in Coulomb's law by the charge, we will get E bar. Okay. And what is that formula? Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square a r cap. So we require total charge Q. So this formula of E bar is this, Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. Okay. For surface charge distribution, we have to use this formula. Okay. Rho s ds 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. So what is ds in this case in our derivation? As our ds differential surface, as the total surface is kept in xy plane, what is the direction of xy plane? If it is x, it is y. Xy plane direction is az cap, because whenever you want to find out the direction of any surface, you draw perpendicular to that surface. If it is xy plane, then perpendicular to it is z axis. Z axis is perpendicular. So this surface is denoted by ds z bar, differential surface in z direction. Okay. So that's why now here step by step if we go, dq you have to replace by rho s ds as mentioned earlier in this formula. Replace this q by rho s ds. Okay. If it is dq, then rho s ds. If it is q, then integration rho s ds here. If it is dq, then rho s ds. If you want to replace q, total q, then integration of rho s ds. So this formula is that. So q is equal to integration rho s ds. Now let us assume that this is the total surface area S. Out of this total surface area, assume any differential surface like this. This is a differential surface, means very small surface of the given surface ds. Okay. So ds, due to this ds, I want to find out E bar at this particular point. So due to differential surface, I will get differential electric field intensity dE bar, or simply dE. Okay. Once I obtain this dE due to this ds, then by integrating this dE bar, I will get the total E bar due to this total surface area. This is the idea behind this, because the what formula we have? We are having this formula, total E bar is equal to integration of rho s ds 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. Okay. So for that you require ds. Rho s is given in the problem, 4 pi epsilon 0 is constant, r and a r cap we can find out with the help of displacement vector. So that's why we assumed a very small differential surface element here on this total surface area. Okay. From this differential surface area, okay, some charge is mentioned, charge is present on this ds, that charge is dq. From this charge, what is the E bar like this? E bar will be in this direction. So r bar is nothing but what? R bar is a displacement vector from the given charge to a given point, because I want to find out E bar at this point P due to this ds surface on which charge dq is present. on this differential surface charge dq is present. So which formula we can use? We can use this particular formula, and for that what we require? We require this ds. Okay, so ds in this case is what is ds? As ds is present in xy plane and the direction of xy plane is z axis, so therefore in this formula ds will be ds z bar. So ds z bar in cylindrical coordinate system can be obtained by multiplying remaining two differential lengths. Which are the differential lengths in cylindrical coordinate system? Obviously in this derivation you have to use cylindrical coordinate system. Which are the three differential lengths? dr, r d phi and dz. Okay, dr, r d phi and dz. So ds z bar can be obtained by multiplying first differential length, that is dr, and second differential length, that is r d phi. Okay, so ds z bar is dr into r d phi. Okay, and how would you obtain this r bar? R bar can be obtained by subtracting the position vector of point P. If you can remember, r bar is nothing but a distance vector from given charge to given point. So vector is like this, vector starts from this point, ends here. So second point coordinates minus first point coordinates. So what is the first point coordinate, second point coordinates? 0, phi and h. So position vector of point P will be 0 ar cap plus phi fi cap plus h az cap. And what are the coordinates of ds? As it is in, as the ds differential surface is in xy plane, so the r coordinate will be, some r will be there, second coordinate will be phi, and as it is in xy plane, so third coordinate will be 0. So how will you find out the r bar vector? Subtract these coordinates by these coordinates. So 0 minus r will be minus r ar cap, then phi minus phi will be 0, 0 phi cap, so there is no need to write it. Then h is any height, h is any height of this point from origin point is somewhere here. So this point is assumed to be on z axis where we want to find out E bar. So what are the assumptions? First assumption is given surface is assumed to be on xy plane, okay, with surface charge density rho s, and second assumption is this surface is assumed to be made up of small ds, one of the ds differential surface is somewhere here, okay, and third assumption is the point where we want to find out E bar is assumed to be on z axis whose coordinates are 0, phi, h. This is the third assumption. So based on these assumptions, r bar is 0 minus 0, 0 minus r, r minus r ar cap, phi minus phi fi cap, so 0 fi cap, and h minus 0 az cap, so plus h a z cap. So minus r ar cap, h az cap will be this r bar. So from this r bar we can find out its magnitude. So what is the magnitude of r bar in this case? In this case the magnitude of r bar is square root, take the square of this minus r, it will be r square. What is the square of this h? So plus h square. So this is the magnitude of this r bar. And how will you find out ar cap? Ar cap is nothing but a unit vector of this displacement vector r bar, unit vector of r bar. How will you show this ar cap? It starts from this point and it is of magnitude 1. So this is a very small unit vector along r bar. So ar cap is that. So ar cap, how will you obtain? Divide the vector by its magnitude. So divide this vector by this magnitude, you will get, yes, what you will get? Ar cap. Okay. So we obtained, we discussed that three assumptions we discussed, then this diagram is drawn. Okay. Then coordinates of ds is also we have written, coordinates of point P is also we have written, and based on this r bar we drawn, and with the help of this diagram r bar we obtained like this, displacement vector r bar we obtained, or it is also called as distance vector. Distance vector is nothing but a vector which is directed to the given point from the given charge. From this r bar we obtained its magnitude as well as unit vector. Why we calculated all these things? Because we want to use this particular formula. Which is this formula? This is the formula of E bar. So in this formula, in the previous slide we used that E bar we can obtain with the help of rho s. It is given ds is nothing but, in our problem, in our derivation, ds is nothing but ds z, which is nothing but dr and r d phi let me write it systematically. It is ds z in our problem as per the assumptions. Ds z bar we can replace by two differential lengths in two other lengths is dr into r d phi. So r dr and d phi, and direction of this is, as it is ds z bar, that means direction of it is az cap. So why we did these calculations? R bar, its magnitude and its unit vector, because we wanted to use this particular formula. Rho s is given, ds z bar we will replace by this formula, 4 pi epsilon 0 is constant. Magnitude of r bar we calculated few minutes before, and unit vector also we calculated. So all these three things, ds z bar is replaced here, r magnitude we will put here, unit vector we will put here, and we will go on solving this integration. So you understood? Okay. So r bar we obtained here we have written minus r ar cap plus h az cap. Magnitude of r bar we obtained here, r square plus h square, square root, here is square root of r square plus h square means bracket r square plus h square bracket raised to 1/2, here bracket raised to 1/2, and unit vector we obtained, divide this vector by its magnitude. Okay, and dq is replaced by rho s ds. And what is ds? ds is nothing but r d phi, yes, r d phi dr. You see, ds is nothing but r d phi dr, that means r dr d phi. Okay. So this way we did it. We completed this part. We also completed this part. Where we completed? We completed here, completed here, and where this also we completed, and where we completed this ds part, we completed ds here. ds is nothing but r dr d phi az cap. Once you put this, then substituting all these terms into this formula, we will get dE bar. Why dE bar? Because in this formula integration is involved, that's why E bar. If integration is not involved, then it is dE bar. Okay. So dE bar is equal to rho s r d phi dr minus r ar cap plus h az cap divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 r square plus h square by 3/2. Okay. Up to this point we obtained dE bar. Why we obtained dE bar? Because due to this differential surface we will obtain dE bar. But what is our main objective? We want to find out total E bar due to total surface charge. Okay, and here we obtain only differential electric field intensity due to differential surface element. Okay, in order to obtain total E bar we have to take the integration here. But which are the directions of dE bar in this formula? If we carefully observe this particular formula, there are two directions left. First direction is a r cap or a rho cap, and second direction is a z cap. So if we observe this particular diagram, if we observe this particular diagram, it is clear that, let me clear it. It is clear that due to this differential surface ds somewhere here, due to this ds, first ds, the E bar will be in this direction. That means E bar means force will be in this direction, and due to the same ds is also present on the another side of this total surface. This is the total surface area, this is total surface area. The same ds is also present on the equally opposite side. Due to this ds, dE bar obtained will be in this direction. Due to this ds, E bar will be, dE bar will be in this direction. So due to the symmetry, the force will be in this direction. You can assume it. If you apply a force in this direction, the object will, point P will move here. If you apply force in this direction, then point will move here. But if you apply force on this side and in this direction simultaneously, the object point P will move in z direction. That means ultimately which directions will be remaining? A z cap direction will remain. This particular part will get removed, okay, this part. So here it is mentioned, due to the symmetry of charge distribution, for every element 1 there is a corresponding element 2 whose contribution along AR cap cancels that of element 1. Therefore we can remove or we can ignore this minus r AR cap part from this particular remaining derivation. So that's why it becomes E bar is equal to integration, total E bar will be equal to integration of dE bar. So rho s is constant, r is constant, d phi and dr are variables, 4 pi epsilon 0 is constant. So that's why your formula becomes rho s upon 4 pi epsilon 0, this h, where is h? This h is remaining, this h is here, r is here, from where this r came from, this point, okay. dr and d phi, it came from here, dr and d phi, 4 pi epsilon 0 is here. So 4 pi epsilon 0 as it is, and r square plus h square 3 by 2, how it is obtained? Because r square plus h square 3 by 2 we obtained here, okay. So r square plus h square 3 by 2 az cap, the final direction is az cap for the total E bar. Now using this, now integrations are added. One integration is for dr, this part, this component. Which integration is for this dr? This integration is for this dr, this variable, and for this d phi, this integration is applicable. So we know that dr is a differential length in r direction for cylindrical system, and r can vary from r can vary from, where is that? R can vary from 0 to infinity, radius can be from 0 to infinity, phi can vary, phi angle can vary from 0 to 2 pi. So this way we need to go on solving this particular derivation. By separating the parts into this, at the end we get this particular formula, rho s upon 2 epsilon 0 az cap, okay. So this is the final formula of electric field intensity due to infinite surface charge. So in this formula we obtained E bar is equal to rho s upon 2 epsilon 0 az cap. This particular part you do your calculations on your notebook, then and then only you will understand how to get it. It is very difficult here to explain you, but you do this part on your notebook by solving, then at the end you will get this particular formula. But in this formula you find Az cap is the direction. Why Az cap? Because your differential surface or your total surface is in xy plane due to this, and your point is in on z axis. Therefore, ultimately the electric field intensity is along z direction only. Okay. But suppose your surface charge is not placed in xy plane, it is placed somewhere else, then the force will be, or E bar will be in another direction. So that is why for this assumption we got Az cap. But for general case, for any general case, if the infinite surface charge is not placed in xy plane, it is placed somewhere else, then in that case the magnitude of E bar will be same in this formula, only direction is changed. Direction is now any direction. I mentioned An cap or An. So E bar will be rho s upon 2 epsilon 0 An cap. So you have to always remember this formula. This formula is applicable for this derivation only. This is a general formula. E bar is equal to rho s upon 2 epsilon 0 An cap. What is An cap? An cap is a unit vector which is normal to the sheet, which is perpendicular to sheet. Here we obtained Az cap. Why? Because your surface charge was mentioned, was placed in xy plane, and perpendicular to xy plane was z axis. Therefore, we obtained Az cap. But in case of general case, your An cap is nothing but any unit vector, any direction which is normal to the given sheet, or given sheet means what? Surface. So this is the formula we want. So what is the formula of E bar due to infinite line charge? E bar due to infinite line charge is rho l upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r ar cap. And what is E bar due to infinite surface charge? E bar equal to rho s upon 2 epsilon 0 an cap. So remember, in the examination, out of these two derivation, one derivation is generally asked. Either first is asked or second is asked. Okay. So you have to prepare both the derivations very seriously. You have to do the practice on it, writing practice. So in the next lecture, we will try to solve problem on this.